Well, hello there, Ramblers, and welcome to another weekend and indeed another instalment of Reese Rambles. And I hope you're all doing very well. Of course, this is usually my podcast wherein I discuss such lofty topics as retro computing, vintage computing, retro gaming. There's always some debate as to the usage of the words retro and vintage and how they apply to our hobby and the exact definition of them. And to be honest, I don't really care. Use them however you like. But I hope you're all doing well anyway. And yeah, this is a bit of an unusual ramble this week. I'm sorry if the audio and the video are slightly out of sync again, but I promise I will look at it at some point. That's not really important for this episode. Because I've had an awful lot going on. You can probably see this Atari 7800 stuff in front of me on the desk. Of course, that all relates to my latest video. I've literally, and by literally I mean in the past sort of 15 minutes, put that video public. Finally, it's taken an insane amount of work. It's been weeks and weeks. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about this week. Because you'll be aware that I took on a sponsor on my channel quite recently. No, this isn't me talking. I don't need to name them. I don't need to give them any more publicity than I've already agreed to. And indeed, they're not paying me to promote them on this channel. But I want to talk in more kind of general terms about the channel and about my kind of feelings about it and about my plans for it and that kind of stuff. Because it's been a very long time since I've done any kind of sort of channel update. My channel's kind of grown to the point now where you can't really do. I don't want to say that you can't really do that kind of stuff because I mean it's my YouTube channel. I can do whatever I want. But even here on the second channel, I have quite a big following, and it has to be kind of presentable and professional, and I have to kind of watch what I say. And this space here, the Rambles, the weekly podcast, is kind of where I can sort of speak my mind in a kind of an unscripted, unplanned way. And indeed, that is what I'm doing this week. Now, I'll just get this out of the way. I'm completely unprepared this week. I don't have any stories for you. I'm rapidly running out of time. It's 5 o'clock. That video's literally just gone out. And I was doing subtitles and stuff. I re-recorded the intro just this morning because I'd had some feedback on that from a very good and knowledgeable friend of mine. And I thought, you know what? That person has a point. I can definitely kind of try and hook people a bit better. So I got everything set up again, re-recorded the intro, edited that in. Of course, with the sponsor stuff, I had to make sure that I had approval for my sponsor spot. They literally just watch it and say, "Yeah, that's fine," because we all know what the deal is with that. It's kind of forming a bit of a pattern. So if we look at my most recent videos on Control-Alt-Reese, the four most recent videos that I've done have been, of course, the 7800, which has just gone out, the Mac Mini project, that fully upgraded Mac Mini. The next video is quite likely to be an update on that because that's going to be quite an easy one to do, and I have made quite a lot of progress on that project. I'm sure if you're following me on my social media, you probably will have seen what I've been up to with that. I've got the Pico Mem video, of course, that was a very long time in the making, and the Windows 11 on 20-year-old hardware. And I think the point that I'm kind of getting at with my recent videos is that I am putting a huge amount of work into them, and I'm really, really enjoying it. So I have a day job, and I'm in the incredibly fortunate position in that I set up as a contractor. When was it? 2011. So 13 years ago now. Getting on for 14 because it was early on in the year. So that's kind of grown into a small business. I have an employee. I kind of make my own hours. Obviously, I'm also answerable to my customers and stuff, and generally get paid a day rate for the work that I do in my day job. So the days when I don't have a lot on, or when I can shuffle things around to kind of have a free day here and there, I come to the studio here, and I treat this like a job. I spend I spend a whole day here. I pop home for lunch, but I'm recording stuff. I'm preparing stuff for future projects. I'm sorting the studio out, cleaning and tidying, all that boring kind of stuff, and editing. All the rest of it, researching, all the stuff that kind of goes into making a YouTube video. And those videos are getting so much bigger and bigger in scope behind the scenes. And I hope that's reflected in the quality as well. I'm not here asking you for money, by the way. I know it's starting to sound like that, isn't it? But I am now in a position, like yesterday, for example, I was at my office. I have an office for my day job that we rent to do work in, and we all meet up there one day a week just to kind of keep the ball rolling with one of our customers and stuff. And I was there yesterday, and I got all the stuff done in the morning that I needed to get done. So I spent the afternoon just doing some final tweaks on that 7800 video, and it got to a point where I thought, I need like a little 3-second shot at the end of the Atari 7800 controller. So when I finished at the office, and I don't leave till about 5:30, getting on for 6 o'clock because I like to avoid the traffic, and that's 30 miles away cross country. I actually drove straight here to the studio, and then I was here until 8 o'clock. And that's a very, very common occurrence nowadays that I'm here until like 8 o'clock at night because I just completely and utterly lose track of time. And it's because I enjoy doing this so much. And this all kind of brings me around to kind of to the monetary side of things, I guess. So obviously, I recently took on a sponsor over on the main channel. I'm in the tiny little window in the corner. There we go. I should have switched back to big view, shouldn't I? Obviously, I recently took on that sponsor, and they have been pursuing me for a very, very long time. We've had a bit of a back and forth, probably for over a year now, and I've never really sort of been keen on kind of the terms and the money involved and stuff. That's no reflection on them. That's on me and kind of what I think is acceptable to sort of put out to my viewers and stuff. And there was a very last-ditch attempt a couple of months ago where I emailed them and I just said, look, this is what I'm looking for. Can you provide this kind of thing? And they came back, and the money that they offered was actually better than I was expecting. And the terms were also very good as well. So I don't need to put anything at the beginning of the video. It just has to be somewhere in the first half of the video. It can be as short as 15 seconds up to 30 seconds. Just needs a very basic link, no tracking, no promo codes, no giveaways, no rubbish like that. I'm free to say whatever I want, completely unscripted, and essentially I send them the video and they say, yeah, that's fine. And I was quite happy with those terms, particularly with what they were offering, because, and this is kind of what I'm getting around to in a very roundabout kind of way, because of what I do with my day job and what I do, obviously earning that money on a day rate and stuff, I kind of need to justify all of the time that I'm spending here at the studio. And that's why I took that on, because that essentially pays me for at least a day here a week. If I can put out 2 videos a month, which is what that's kind of the maximum that they'll pay me for, then that kind of covers my costs and helps me to justify being here and spending so much time on this, which is great because, stuff like the Pentium 4 video, I bought so much hardware for that, and the Mac Mini video, I bought loads of hardware for that as well. I bought a whole new, spoilers if you haven't seen this video yet, but I actually ended up buying another 7800 just to get this video finished, and they're not cheap nowadays. And I could buy that safe in the knowledge that that's kind of covered. Of course, I also have the ad revenue as well from my videos. That I can talk about, so that's kind of a couple of £100 a month in total if I have a good month. And then I have Patreon, Coffee, and the YouTube channel member stuff as well, which is around a similar amount. So I've always been very transparent whenever I've talked about my videos, and I've never kind of hidden, that kind of thing. So hopefully that all makes sense. But this YouTube thing, this Control-Alt-Reese thing, has now reached the point where it's my second job. And I'm very, very happy with that because I've been working towards that for the longest time. I've always said since day one that I have no aspirations of being a full-time YouTuber. Something would have to go absolutely crazy for me to sort of sit here and make that announcement, because I'm very lucky in my day job in that I choose the kind of stuff that I want to work on, and I kind of choose my hours and stuff, and I get paid quite well for that just because of the nature of the job that I do. And I don't really sort of have any sort of shame or anything about saying that. I don't feel like I should hide that from people. I also don't say it to kind of gloat or anything. I appreciate that I'm incredibly fortunate. So yeah, that's kind of the very, very lucky position that I'm in with this channel. And I've been doing this for 5 years now, and I love it. I mean, I get out of bed in the morning, and if I don't have any actual work to do, I come straight here. If my wife is out doing girly things that she does occasionally at the weekend or whatever, that's like instantly, right, over to the studio, because it's like 2 minutes from my house. And I'm constantly tinkering with all these projects. I'm constantly improving the studio, and I've got stuff on display and everything, turning it into a bit of a mini museum. Don't know if it will ever be open to visitors or anything like that, but it feels like at the moment, and especially I think coming up to a year since I rented this studio space, which I think is, as far as the channel's concerned, is probably the best decision I've ever made. But in life as well, I kind of along with a few other things. Also, I think was an excellent decision because it's enabled me to do so much. Of course, it costs money. I'm renting an office as a business does, but yeah, it's very. I've been reflecting quite a lot on this, and particularly with all the time that I've been spending on this, and particularly with the feedback I've been getting from people on the videos as well. It's all been so so positive. People are evidently seeing the work that I'm putting in and stuff like that. So yeah, I think in the world of YouTube, there's a lot of grifters and stuff, and a lot of people who will sit down in front of a camera and say, "Oh, yeah, this has happened, that's happened. Oh, I need money. Please send me money," that kind of thing. And there's at the other end of the scale, there's also a lot of people who just do this for the love of it, and they don't expect anything in return. And I kind of see myself as being, I don't know, is it like a spectrum where you've got one type of person at one end and the other type of person at the other, and I'm somewhere in the middle? I don't know. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to sort of thank everyone for all of your support over the past 5 years and for making this possible, and kind of put a kind of a proper statement out there to say that I am taking this incredibly seriously. I am working very hard at this, and I hope it's reflected in the output. And because I now have this sponsorship deal in place, I'm hoping that I can spend more time on this and we can have more videos and better videos, and that it's just gonna kind of lift everything and improve everything. So that's that. Of course, I don't feel the need to justify it. I've actually had quite a lot of positive feedback about the sponsor stuff as well. People saying that they're pleased for me and that they're proud of me and stuff like that. But I don't think people. Obviously, I mean, why would they know? It's not something I've really talked about. But I don't think people are aware of kind of what's been happening behind the scenes and how and what a big decision it's been for me to make. And kind of the back and forth that I've had with them to kind of get terms that I thought were agreeable. Out of professional courtesy, I can't really talk about too much about the contract and stuff like that, but it is for 12 months and it is for up to 2 videos per month, which is cool. I'm hoping to put out more than 2 videos a month. I'm hoping 3 probably once I get into the swing of things, and occasionally, hopefully, it'll be 4. And it would be nice to get back onto doing some more sort of second channel videos and supporter exclusive stuff as well. I do think I do kind of I bit off a bit more than I could chew with that at one point, but I was experimenting. I was learning the workflow in the studio, and I was just having a fun time being here. So I wanted to spend time here, kind of making stuff. If that all makes sense. So yeah, apologies for not having a proper ramble for you. Although I guess this is more of a ramble than what I usually do on a weekly basis. But apologies for not having actual news stories. Of course, I am on This Week in Retro again this week, covering for Neil with Dave. I think it's going to be an absolutely brilliant episode. We had loads of fun filming it. We got a really good guest on as well. So if you want to hear more of me, please do go and check that out, and listen to This Week in Retro anyway, because it's a fantastic podcast. But that's all I've got for you this week, really. Kind of decompressing a bit. There's always this lull after especially a particularly big video that's taken me a huge amount of work and a huge amount of time. There's like this decompression that happens. I do like this, like a therapeutic tidy of the studio where I just go around and just tidy everything up, and it's very I don't know what the word is. It's very good for the soul, I guess. But I'm well aware I've got 2 more. Again, spoilers. I've got 2 more 7800s that I need to fix now. So I'll need to get on with those, and I guess I should start setting stuff up for the next video. So that's cool. So I hope this video does well. Of course, it's all tied in with the launch of the Atari 7800 Plus that they've recently announced. It's not some kind of cynical move to jump on that bandwagon. I did, in the original version of my intro, mention that I was actually finalising my notes to start recording this when the announcement dropped. I actually re-recorded that intro, like I said, so that bit kind of got dropped. But that was very much the situation. I was working... it's one that's been on my list for a very long time, and I was working on it, and then all of a sudden this announcement happened, and I thought, oh, that's a great opportunity, and that's a great motivator to get on with this. So that's that, really, I guess. I hope you're all going to have a wonderful weekend. What are we up to? Oh, wow, I've been blathering on for 14 minutes now. Well, that's nearly a full ramble's worth anyway, isn't it? If you are looking for a, what is this? I've forgotten the name of it already. Oh, there it is. Yeah, if you're looking for a video of the week, a video recommendation, did you watch the Linkin Park live stream this week? Remember Linkin Park from back in the day? I was really into their first 2 albums in a really big way, obviously new metal kind of stuff, whatever you want to call it. Their first 2 albums in particular. And obviously kind of missed some of their sort of later stuff, but they just yesterday announced that they have a new singer. Of course, their original singer Chester, quite sadly, took his own life quite a few years back, and they've been, they've been touring and stuff, and they've had quite a few years off as a result. And yeah, yesterday they announced that they have a new female vocalist. She is absolutely incredible. They put a new single out, which is called The Emptiness Machine. I was just checking the name on my phone. Listened to it a couple of times in the car and stuff, and it's an absolute banger. So that's my recommendation for video of the week. That's my update on the state of the channel, and yeah, that's all I got for you. I won't take up any more of your time. So I shall see you again, hopefully later on This Week in Retro, and if not, same time next week on Reese Rambles. So thank you ever so much for listening, and I'll see you soon. Bye.